Hey Flosstube, welcome. I'm back. I am going to be, this is going to be a little bit of a different video today. My name is Cameron. You can call me Cam or Cameron. It doesn't matter. This is my channel about cross stitch, crafting, other things. And today I want to catch up with you guys, talk about Stitch North, which was so fun, and give you progress kind of updates, clue you in on lots of stuff that I bought, and yeah. But right now, I think to start, I'm gonna do something that I've never done, and I think I'm just gonna chat about Stitch North. I'm gonna sprinkle in life update, and I'm gonna do my makeup while I do that, and then I will get into the stitching. So if you're not interested in hearing about Stitch North or just like the general, like what we did kind of, and you're not interested in whatever, skip on ahead to the cross stitch stuff. But I'm gonna chill because I need to. And I'm going to do my makeup while I'm talking to you because I didn't have time to do it before. Essentially, my life has gotten a little bit crazy. And it's nothing exciting. Unfortunately, it is just like work stuff. Kind of the nature of my job has changed. My team dynamic has changed. I'm not going to get into the details, but just like essentially I had this much responsibility, and that has now it's just been a lot. I've also been in office more, which sucks because the office is over an hour, well, about an hour away from me with traffic, and it's just not conducive to a good time because I'm sitting in traffic for 2 hours. You guys can kind of judge my weird makeup routine, but essentially I am low on time to do things that I want lately, and that was happening leading up to Stitch North. So I just was very frazzled and all over the place, and it felt hard to like pack and focus on what I wanted to bring, etc. So packing, I couldn't pack till really last minute. So I packed the morning of my flight. So I flew out to Cincinnati to meet my friends in Ohio to then drive up to Canada, which was super, super fun. So I flew into Cincinnati. My friend Maddie from Kitty Stitch picked me up. We had to wait until after midnight to pick up my friend Bridget. Poor girl had lots of travel issues, cancellations, delays, and whatnot. We had a late night. Of course, we did not sleep in between going to pick up Bridget because we were excited to be together and to like talk about stitching and what we were gonna do and all that good stuff. So we ended up staying up, picked up Bridget. We then went back to the house and tried to get as much sleep as we could, which was maybe 2 hours if we're being generous. Then we left to get to Elizabeth's house around 6 o'clock, or to get there at 6 o'clock. So I think we left around 5 if I'm remembering correctly. So then we kind of just road tripped it out. I knit on my sock, one of my socks, which I can show you right now. Knitting portion at the front real quick. It's not really that much to show. And I've dropped stitches. I'll figure that out later. Anyways, this is a fade sock that I'm working on. I already completed the first one, which I've definitely shown probably multiple times because I love it so much. So that's the finished sock. So I worked quite a bit on this leg, and I'm done with the leg. I need to start the heel flap now. So I will do that at a later time, but that is what I mostly worked on in the car. Then we stopped at Niagara Falls when we got over the border, and I will insert clips here, but Niagara Falls was gorgeous. And we just like walked around, took pictures. We went to the gift shop, kind of dilly-dallied our way to the hotel. Is this stressing you out that I'm just doing this with no mirror? Be honest. So we made it to the hotel, and we were hungry, and we ended up going, I think, to Wendy's that night, keeping it simple. I was so tired that there were so many people in the lobby, and like I wanted to hang out, but I was also like, I'm dying and I need to go to bed. So we had a very early night when we arrived, and then the retreat started. That was Thursday night. The retreat started Friday, and Elizabeth, bless her heart, got up super early to secure a table. We joined her when we were awake and ready to go, and we got a table right next to the wall of Roxy Floss, which was, in hindsight, maybe not the best place for me to be, but I enjoyed it. Let me just say, I enjoyed sitting right next to that wall. I was in a state of a fragile state, let's say. I was very stressed with work stuff and had some stuff kind of like lingering over my head the whole trip, to be honest, that I wanted to get over with before the trip, but it didn't work out that way. And so I just feel like I was kind of a little all over the place. I was not focused on whips. I was not focused on, like, I just wasn't focused on stitching in general, to be honest. I ended up just like getting up every 20 minutes. It felt like, not really, getting up, I don't know, every other hour to look at stuff, to look at floss, to look at fabric, to look at patterns, and I ended up buying a lot of stuff, which is fine. It worked out really great because I was able to get my hands on lots of things that I didn't have to pay shipping for, and believe me, I made it worth it. It was great. Okay, mascara's on. I feel like we're pretty much done. I don't have a lipstick next to me. Let me try to add this blush to my lips. Is that crazy? So basically, to finish up the story, I had a great time. I was all over the place. I did not get any stitching done, but I got a lot of shopping done. I got some color conversions done. I enjoyed hanging out with my friends, and just, yeah, it went by way too fast, I will say. And then we road tripped back down to Cincinnati, and I flew out Monday when we got back after Sunday. And unfortunately, my flight home got delayed like 5 or 6 times. It was ridiculous. So I didn't get home till I think around 7 or something, finally. And just, usually I give my partner like a whole like breakdown of what happened. Here's my haul, like all that. But I ended up, I think I ate something and went straight to bed. Basically, the long and the short of life update is that my work has gotten a lot more stressful. I'm having less time to stitch, certainly less time to film, and less time to even just like do my other hobbies. I've had to like cancel D&D sessions because I've been at the office late, trying to get, it's just been, I'm hoping that we will hire some more people, hopefully, and that will ease things a bit in the next several months, but I don't really see that happening for a while. And anyways, all of that to say, very much looking forward to StitchCon and taking another break. And then I'm hoping that I'm able to film a little. It's not going to be like it was. It's just going to be when I can. I'm sitting down during my lunch break right now and I'm trying to film this. It's going to be a little discombobulated. I'm just going to pull things out of bags and just show you them. I'm just going to show you whips, I think, first, some new starts after that, and then I think I'm just going to show you a bunch of haul, acquisitions, whatever you want to call them. If you're not into haul, don't worry, my channel's not usually full of haul. Today's video is definitely an exception, so if you're not interested in that, you don't have to watch the video. But if you are, could just stay here. First, whip I'm going to show you is not finished and should have been finished, or it should be finished by the end of this month, actually. So but it's not going to be. This is Secret Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. I was stitching this along with my friend Pigeon. She has finished it. Spoiler alert for her upcoming Flosstube. I don't think she's shown it yet, but she's finished this. I am not finished. Here it is. I did work on this quite a bit leading up to Stitch North to try to get it to a finishable place, but life got in the way, work got in the way, let's be honest. But I got a lot of places that are good for fill-in, so I'm thinking I will try to stitch on this maybe this month before StitchCon, and then at StitchCon I can do the fill-in on these like bigger spaces, but I'm almost done. It's just I have a lot of these little doodads to do, a lot of little flowers, these blue flowers around to do, but the majority of the big block stitching's done for me, which is good and bad because obviously I have to kind of switch colors a little bit more and then jump around on the piece a lot more, which is not the fastest way of stitching. I'm stitching this on a 40 count Atomic Ranch linen called Copper Penny. And I'm using one strand of DMC. This is the called for muted color palette, not the bright color palette. So that's that. So hopefully this will be finished this year no matter what, but hopefully we see a finish of it in the next couple months. But yeah, my goals obviously have had to take a complete back burner to everything. So I'm kind of reevaluating my year. I'm gonna still try to finish a couple of things I wanna finish, but my plans video basically for the beginning of this year is out the window at this point, and I just have to make this work. The next whip I'm gonna show you, this is a whip that I adopted from Pigeon last year, but I didn't work on it last year. This is Carriage House Sampling's Garden Sampler. Several people have stitched this. Elizabeth Ann can stitch. You know, Elizabeth Ann, she's finished this as well. I'm stitching this on a 20 count Ada by Fiber on a Whim in the color Peridot, whatever, you get it. It's a like limey, opaly green. I stitched this frog and I started stitching this flower. Everything else was stitched by Pigeon already. So there are a little less than 10,000 stitches left on this, I believe. And honestly, when I was working on it at Stitch North, I was like, I wish that I could just focus in on this, but I have other goals and I don't know. I think what I'm struggling with this at work, and I'm struggling with this at home and with my stitching. I'm not sure what to prioritize right now. I'm feeling very all over the place. I'm feeling very frazzled, and I wish that I could let go kind of and just go where the wind takes me, which like the wind right now is like this. But I also don't want to completely let go of all the goals that I set for myself, where I revert back to kind of old Cameron, which is not really getting anything done and starting a bunch of things, right? So I don't know. I'm kind of trying to strike a balance at the moment. Another whip I can show you, I wanted to get this done at Stitch North. Pigeon and Elizabeth from Frizzy Lizzie finished this. This is the Blue Flower Pigeon and Puddle. I did work on this quite a bit leading up to Stitch North to try to get it to a finishable place, but alas. And that's okay. I would like to work on this before StitchCon to get it to where there's only the fill-in left on the body of the pigeon and the heads of the pigeon, but we'll see. This is stitched on 40 count Lunar by Stitch Me with one strand of, I don't have a conversion for you. I'm gonna be honest. It's too complicated to give you a conversion. The purple is the called for Cottage Garden threads. It's because I just so happen to have it. This yellow and the orange is the called for variegated DMC. And then the DMC, this green is the called for DMC, I believe. Just regular. This brown is the called for, and then the head color is the called for DMC. The neck and the body are two overdyes I had in stash. So the neck is a DMC variegated, and I have that posted on the Instagram post that I posted this with. So if you're curious for this neck one, which is perfect, it is a perfect dupe, I swear. And then the body is a random color and cotton I have, and the water is also a random color and cotton that I have. So I'm not going to be posting a conversion for this. It's not really like a good conversion. It's just kind of, I pulled from wherever. So that's that. I think some of my other friends might have posted their conversions, if I'm not mistaken. I know Pigeon did stitch hers in the called for. So if you're curious, you can go check those out. Okay, here's the next whip. And this is bad news. I am stitching Lola Crow's Extraordinary Birds stitch along. I have not kept up because X, Y, and Z. This is the first Lola Crow stitch along I believe I will not actually be able to keep up with. And that upsets me so much because I did all three of the ones that have already been done, that are all behind me. I've done all three of those. I've finished the parts, especially the frame, on time, and I have finished the sow when it ends. And that feels good because I love working on these, right? Anyways, this is where I'm at. It's stitched on 32 count jalapeno linen by Fiber on a Whim with 2 strands of the called for DMC. And I am nowhere near finishing this dang frame. It could be worse, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be strategic, and I believe the first parts that are gonna come out are gonna be at the bottom, over on this side. So I'm going to take this pillar down and try to close out this dome as well, and take the other pillar down and start stitching the bottom part of the frame, and just, I'll come back up here and I will go back over here another time, so that I can stitch the parts when they come out, hopefully. And if not, I will have to let that go. But it's looking so good. Ugh, I love stitching on it. Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine. So that is another whip. This is technically a new start, but a whip in spirit, and it's got almost nothing on it. This is The Ninth Day of Christmas by Hello from Liz Matthews. I am sorely behind on this as well. Pigeon is too. It's all okay. We only have 4 left to go, but this is The Ninth Day of Christmas, and I honestly couldn't tell you which end is up and which end is down. So I started in the middle with these wreaths. Not wreaths, but, you know, garland. There we go. There's the word. This is on the same color linen, or the same linen as my First Day of Christmas and the Raccoon by Cottage Garden that I finished this year. This is 36 count Picture This Plus Heritage, I believe. Here is a not whip, but a whip of someone else. And I'm going to not take this out of the hoop as of right now, but I'll show you, I will insert pictures of the other part that I stitched that you can't see. This is Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Castle Homecoming. This is part of the foreign exchange whip program that myself, Pigeon, Frizzy Lizzie, and Rachel from Lemonade Stitching, we have basically inserted a whip that we don't want to work on, but we want finished. I'm working on Castle Homecoming, which is Frizzy Lizzie's, and I have been loving this. I've been working on this ever since I got home when I have the time, and I'm almost done with my goal of 2,000 stitches. I stitched these guys up here, the little jousting peoples. They're so cute. And then I stitched this little banner, and then started some of the castle. The other, I didn't start up here. I actually started over here and stitched this wizard because I was obsessed with him. And then I came down here, and you can't see it, but I stitched this little like troll dude. I'll insert a picture. I believe this is stitched on 40 count. Picture this plus something. If you're interested, go check out Frizzy Lizzie's channel. I'm so excited for her to finish this. It will not be it will not be finished by the time it gets to her. This is more of just like we're putting progress in to help each other out, so that it's more stitches done than it was going to be, you know? I'll be handing this off to Bridget at StitchCon. So, oh, I started this before I left for Stitch North because I was in such a funk. I bought this from eBay. This is a vintage Bucilla? What if it's Bucilla? That'd be amazing. Anyways, a Bucilla needlepoint plastic canvas kit. It is a celestial Windchime situation. And it was like 10 bucks or something on eBay. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna need that. It came with everything you need, including the chimes, which I have right here. So I'm obsessed with this. I started it and actually got pretty far. Obviously, this is different from cross stitch. You're doing a different type of stitch pattern with it. Am I strictly sticking to that stitch pattern? No, I'm not. I'm doing what makes sense to me. And if it's incorrect, the needlepoint girlies can put hate in my comments. I don't really care. But I'm just, like, that's my back, okay? I'm starting in a place where you're supposed to start, because it's not right or left to right, it's right to left, I think is how you're supposed to do it. But essentially, like with this block stitching, I am doing it the right way on the first line, but then I'm just going back and forth like this. I don't know if that's incorrect. I think it is. I don't really care. It's working. So that is that. I don't know when I'll get back to this. I'm not counting it towards my cross stitch whips right now because mentally I don't think I could take that. So I'll get back to this at some point, but it's been really fun to stitch on. I'm sure that I worked on other things, but I'm just gonna start, I think, grabbing stuff at this point. Oh wait, here's another, okay, one more whip here that I know of. This is my huge Modern Folk Embroidery 2022 stitch along Dutch reproduction monochromatic 310 sampler. I did work on this a bit, watch some Peaky Blinders, which is what I've been trying to do with this project. I think I worked in the middle here and did a lot of that. You can check my story highlights on Instagram if you're curious what I've been working on recently this year with this, or the end of last year too. But I believe that middle motif is what I got most of my progress on. Obviously that's the bottom right here, so I'm close, but it's still a lot of stitches left. This is my oldest whip for sure, and I would like this to be done this year, which is very finishable this year. I just need to do it. Here's some more vintage things that I bought from eBay just to get these out of the way. I don't even know, like this is a lot. Clown warning here. Okay. First, I got this Wonder Art Stitchery pillow embroidery. This is embroidery kit. Guess which one it is. No, guess which one it is though. Okay. So anyways, it comes with the fabric and the yarn to embroider this with. I don't know if it comes with anything else. Pillow form not included, duh. But I love that this says, it's got a sticker from Target for $2.67. I would love to eventually find this one and stitch this one as well, because I'm obsessed with that plaid dog and the floral cat. This one I don't care about, but that set, that'd be something. It's completely sealed. Like, I don't think it's ever been opened. The needle's right there. I am interested to open it, but I'm gonna keep it sealed for now until I start it. Then I found needlepoint, more plastic canvas needlepoint things. There are clowns in these as well, but they're much smaller. If you don't like clowns, you don't have to watch. This is a like mobile kit and I'm obsessed with it. This one in particular, you don't necessarily have to make into the mobile, whatever. You can kind of have them sit around. So I don't know what I'll do yet, but I'm frankly obsessed. The problem with this one, and it was not notated on the eBay description, but first of all, it was already open a little bit. I opened it further, and upon reflection, there were some instructions, but no chart. And I was like, that's weird. I guess the chart slipped out, or they took the chart out. But then I started to look at this plastic canvas, and you can maybe see that it looks like it was some tie-dye got melted on it or something. I'm not really sure. And then I noticed, oh, I think that's the panda, possibly. And maybe this is the front of the panda. I don't really know what's going on here, to be quite honest. What I believe was the case is that these at one point were printed plastic canvas. But as you can see, that has become not so defined, shall we say. Maybe, oh, this smells like old dust. Maybe stale cigarettes in there somewhere, I'm not sure. At this point, an impressionist painting, so I'm going to have to figure out, I'm gonna have to chart these from the picture, I think. But don't you worry, there's another circus needlepoint plastic canvas kit that I found that's also a mobile. And as, duh, there's a clown in a car, but there's also a muscle dude and another, like, this is giving. I'm obsessed with this. This one does have that one did not have a year on it. I'm gonna guess 70s. This is 1980. And it has everything in here. I hope it's sealed, so it should. And it does not have printed plastic canvas. I believe it's gonna have the charts in here. So that's exciting. Don't worry, it didn't cost me a pretty penny at all because I don't think anybody's fighting in the eBay for those types of things. Let's open this. This is a project bag that was given to me by Elizabeth Ann. She made all of these for people that were starting Cherry Magpie, which I did start, and I hope that it's in here. My friend Maddie made us these Stitch North keychains, which I am loving. And then this was, I'm sure you've seen lots, I'm not gonna go into all the goodie bag stuff we got, but we did get one of these little like scissor fob situations or bag charm situations. And I had the letters to spell rat. And then my friend Bridget went and got me a B so that it could be brat, which I'm loving. So what's in here? Great question. Here we go. We've got Cherry Magpie. That is in here. Lots of floss in various states of being as well. So I bought the Roxy floss for this when I got there. So this is Carrie's conversion from Roxy Floss Co. for Cherry Magpie by Jet X Stitch. It's so pretty, it's so gorgeous. I'm so happy to have these in my stash now and also obviously use these. I did not get the, well I did get it, but I did not use the fabric that Roxy dyed for this. I already had the called for beetroot and a 36 count, so I used that, but this is my very small start. I have a needle in there. I was working on this in the airport. Oh my goodness, that's so pretty. Oh, beetroot is so, it's such a deep fabric. It's kind of hard, like that's kind of blown out a little bit when I get closer, but it looks phenomenal. I'm so excited to keep stitching on this. I'm definitely gonna bring this to StitchCon to work on because it just feels like an extra special retreat. stitch. So that is in there. And then I also started the Charming Cow Sampler by Little Robin Designs with my friends Bridget and Maddie. I have had this kitted since 2022, I think. Yep, 2022 when this came out. And this is like the old DMC I had sitting in there, which I need to go put back at this point. But we actually put together a conversion for with Roxy Floss. This is just some of it. I'm a little unorganized, but Maddie and I went for like a brighter vibe. And then Bridget we worked together to make a more muted palette as well. But still, there's a lot of crossover with our conversions. And I'm stitching this on 36 count earthen linen by Picture This Plus. And that is also my very, very small start. I have decided that this blue I'm going to actually frog out and replace with this blue, which is Sour Candy, so that it will show up a little bit better. The original blue, which is gorgeous, this is Lime Foam. But I'll definitely be using that Lime Foam and other things. That's a great color. I love a sea foam color. So yeah, really small start, but that's okay. And that was really all I had planned to start, but that didn't stop me. This one, let me try to find the, here it is. This is another start that I had. I was inspired by Shiloh from X-Stitch MD. Now I don't remember the name of the chart. It's a Jet X Stitch pattern that I don't remember the name of, but it's pretty new. I will put a picture of it and I will link it down below. It is gorgeous. It's giving the Lion King a little bit, but like, I don't know. It's just very pretty. This is the color palette that I came up with. So that's what we're working with. And I was inspired by Shiloh not only to start this, but also for the fabric. She got her hands on some really gorgeous, like the brightest lime green you can think of fabric by hand dyed from Rolanda. There was no more of that at her booth, but I did find this, which is more of a yellow. I would call it tennis ball, but this is called 90s Throwback by the Sewing Shop. Oh wow, it's fluorescent. I love it though. This is a 32 count Lugana, which I famously have hated stitching on 32 count Lugana. However, I've only ever stitched on Picture This Plus. And that is really tough to stitch on for me personally. But this Lugana, the holes are so open. It's so smooth to stitch on. So I'm working with 2 strands on this, which I did account for in my floss. So I got 2 of this color, this darker green, and then 2 of the darker blue. But it's looking great. If you're interested and when I have time, I'd be happy to share my conversion for the floss. And I don't know, I'm sure the Sewing Shop is a Canadian cross-stitch store. So if you're interested in this fabric, I would go check out their website. I will link them down below, but that is just, I mean. Then I had another start because my friend Bridget brought me, she finished this. This is the Pink Sparrow sampler. It is a very gorgeous sampler that's very simple and it's very, this is very like pastel, but still bright for a reproduction sampler. I went ahead and brightened it up quite a bit. And this is some of my floss, not all of it, because again, I'm not that organized. But I picked a lot of pastel-y bright pinks and like sherbety colors kind of as well. And then I still went with some deeper colors that are closer to the called for. So that's that. That was another start. Oh, I didn't even show you my start. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? All right, here it is. It's so small and tiny. And you know, that's okay. It's fine. This is a piece of random Roxy fabric that I picked up in their offcut section. It's a really, really light pink. It looks white in the camera, which is totally fine. You can kind of see that it's pink. But I think it's just a random offcut that would fit this, so I grabbed it and started it. So yeah, I had 4 new starts at Stitch North. Please ignore all of the other things I've said before this about not starting a bunch of stuff, because mentally I needed it, okay? All right, now we're getting on to haul. I think we're done with all of the whips or start. I picked up, because I was inspired by Caroline from the Thread Gremlins. I picked up Elizabeth's Bouquet. And I also picked up the Floss pack. Enjoy this crinkling. I, for one, love a crinkle. This packaging is just ASMR to my ears. So this is the Floss pack, which is huge. But as you all know, I whip up conversions constantly. And so this is going to be great to have in my stash after I finish this. And I honestly want to start this soon because I got 20 count Ada in the color Night Owl by Roxy Floss to stitch this on. There's a companion piece that I believe Caroline is stitching as well. It's called Gwendolyn's Bouquet, and I want to stitch both of them on this fabric. So this is essentially black fabric, and I was like, well, let me do it on 20 count so that it's cute and small, but also I can see kind of, hopefully. It's still gonna be a struggle, but not as much as 40 count would have been, or even 32 with this color. So that is one thing that I kitted up that I wasn't planning to kit up, but you know. My friend Maddie and I grabbed this one. This is by Maximum Cross Stitch. This is called Agnes Kerr 1830, and we saw the model at Stitch North, and we are obsessed with Miss Girl right there. Miss Raggedy Ann, Annabelle, if you will. I'm gonna call her Annabelle on mine. I don't care. Free her. Please free her. Anyways. So this is a huge booklet. It's got so many specialty stitches in it, which I'm very excited for. And I went ahead and got the called for floss for this because I really did like the palette. I did not pick up fabric for this, but I have plenty in stash, don't you worry. And I'm obsessed with this. I'm gonna stitch it completely as charted, I think. I also love the name Agnes Kerr. Like that's, I don't know, I might put my own name in there somewhere, but, or maybe should I put Annabelle? That is, I'm obsessed with that. I also picked up, of course, and nobody's surprised, the Upping of the King Swan. This one I did kind of plan to kit up because I kept looking at it on the pre-orders and thought, no, I don't need it, I don't need it, I don't need it, but I did. This is the floss pack for that, which is gorgeous, the pastels. And then it was an excuse to pick up a cut of Temptation, which a lot of people started Cherry Magpie on this. And so I'm excited to be able to stitch on this for a different chart. It's so pink. I love it. It's so beautiful. I got 36 count fat quarter of it. That should, you know what? I didn't do the math, but that should fit the sampler. I'll make it work. Don't worry. I think it will though. Okay. Then the other things, the other chart I got, Bridget and I got this. This is Soaring with the Wind. These came out in parts at first, but I went ahead and just got the whole sampler. I think I'm still going to stitch these. I know that I'm still going to stitch these individually, but I would really love to stitch this whole motif. I love this one as well. This whole middle bird situation. And then I believe it was like this, I think was on like a pillow. It was stitched like on a really small count that was gorgeous. Obviously there's also these two rows. I'm not as interested in this one. I think this one I am interested in. I'm loving these stripy blue flowers, whatever those are. So anyways, I got it. And of course I got all of the floss for it, which is like 20 flosses. They're so pretty. But they're so pretty. So yeah, I'm excited. Don't care. I'm talking to you like I'm talking to, like I'm trying to defend myself. Like as if, and you know what? I'm gonna stop. Okay. The other thing that I got, I did not get fabric for this, and I'm gonna get the PDF for it, but this is Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. I saw the model of her rabbit, which when it came out, I thought was stunning. But seeing it in person, I was like, ooh. So I got the floss pack. I'm going to have to stitch it on 40 count. It'll fit on a fat quarter of 40 count. It will not fit on a fat quarter of 36. So I'm going to look in stash to see what 40 count I have, but the flosses are very gorgeous. I love this yellow. Then I got some fabric. So firstly, I think this is Buttercup. It's not labeled, but I'm pretty sure this is Buttercup. I'm actually going to split this with Pigeon because we want to stitch some of these on there. I think that's kind of the plan. So I'm going to cut each of us a fat 1/8. I'll bring that to StitchCon for her. I'm loving this yellow moment. It's gorgeous. Okay. Then I also picked up another yellow for myself. This is 36 count Beekeeper, which is a little bit more honey for sure colored, right? A little bit more pigmented. This is it against Buttercup. Definitely like, it could totally read as like a very warm toned sampler vibe, but I don't know. I love it. I don't know what I'm gonna put on it. And then this, actually I do know what I want to put on it, but we won't. Okay, I kind of have a design idea to put on it, but don't hold me to that. Like I have time. I'm gonna figure it out. Anyways, then I got 36 count cherry cobbler, which I want to eat, drink, sleep on, sleep with, consume. B? Oh wow, that's my color. Are we doing, look at this color analysis right now. That's my color right now. Okay. Anyways, am I in autumn? Be honest. Or am I don't know. It's gorgeous. I'm obsessed with it. And I don't know what I'm gonna put on it, but it doesn't matter because I could just frame this and be happy, but I would like to stitch something on it. Oh, I did pick this up because I wanted it and didn't have it. But yeah, I got Tomato Hill by Plum Street. I think Bridget and I wanted to start this in August. I don't know who else wanted to start it, but I do know that. We got lots of goodies in the goodie bag. I'm not going to go through it all because at this point you've probably seen it. I will say we did get this Tiny Modernist pattern, A Stitcher's Garden, which I do really love. It's very cute. And I got lots of stickers from people. Of course, Frizzy Lizzy came through with her adorable, that's her logo, her crafty goose, and Sparrow stitching. Obsessed with that. And then let's go over the freebies I got. Okay, first off, we have Barbs Birds by Needle Made Designs. I've never seen this. It honestly reads as like a, I don't know. I love a funky bird, so I grabbed that freebie. I also grabbed, this was torn out of a magazine from, I think, The World of Cross Stitching magazine. These are some Biscorn that I really love this one. A lot of back stitching, but I think it's worth it. I think it's really pretty. And from that same magazine, I believe, someone had torn out this, which is adorable. It says made to measure, and it's got different measuring tapes. And I believe it's by Emma Congdon. So that's a sleigh. Would really like to stitch that. Oh, this is low-key for Embroidery, but I think I want to just stitch this individual checkered flower with the smiley face. I don't want to stitch the whole thing and like make it a little bag charm situation. I just think, I just love it. It's so 90s. I'm obsessed with that. And then this is the last one. This is a book, Cabbage Patch Kids. I was never a Cabbage Patch Kid person because I didn't like baby dolls when I was little. They just didn't appeal to me, but I'm obsessed with that. And I'm obsessed with these. So I picked this up because I really want to stitch the literal cabbage with the baby in it. Yeah. I'm stitching that and you can't stop me. No one can stop me, in fact, actually. So picked that up, had to. And honestly, that's it. I did buy one more. I bought these 3 floss. They're the same floss because I want to do a monochromatic piece with this. This is very much DMC 3021, which is my favorite DMC. And I'm thinking about a particular piece possibly for this to do monochromatic. This is called Dirty Dancing by Roxy Floss Co. And it is gorgeous. There's a similar one called Dirty Martini that I have used that is very close to 3021 as well, but it's not quite as dark, and I really liked this dark version, so that's another thing I picked up. I hope to see you soon. I hope to see you with some progress, hopefully before StitchCon. If not, I'll see you after StitchCon. I am going to StitchCon weekend A with my gal pals, and I'm very excited. We're gonna be, I don't know. Will I know that I won't buy as much, right? But I don't know if I'm going to be all over the place again and just want to start 50 things. Last year at StitchCon, I didn't want to start anything. Like it very much, I was also frazzled at StitchCon last year, but in a different way, I don't know. So we'll see. I'm not going to hold myself to anything. I'll tell you that. Oh, also, she's sitting on it right now, but I got a big Lands' End tote because I brought my medium-sized Lands' End tote. You have got to move. Respectfully. Love you to death. There you go. I have a medium one in hot pink that I brought, and it's very useful. I use it as a work bag at this point, but it wasn't quite big enough to fit all the things I needed for a retreat, so I went ahead and purchased this, the large with the long straps and the zip top, and this like fuchsia color. Very cute. So God, it's so heavy and it doesn't even have anything in it. These are fantastic. I can't wait to add all my bag charms to it and take it to StitchCon with me. But that was another after Stitch North purchase. The other purchase I know I'll be making as well is I'm going to be getting a table clamp for my Lowry stand situation because I tried Maddie's at Kitty Stitch and I loved it. I loved it to death. So I'm going to be getting that as well, so I can be all set up for retreat stitching that I might not do. I think the total amount of stitches I did at Stitch North was about 500 stitches. And for me, that's nothing. That's not good. Okay? But it was hilarious. I had a good time. I was kooky crazy, and I hope at the very least I was entertaining to my table mates. And, you know, I can't promise anything about StitchCon. I might be in the exact same state of being. So that is all. I hope you enjoyed looking at my Mike's Hot Honey and old Dr. Pepper can, the orts that I keep on the side of my couch, some random floss that I also keep back here, and I think that's it. I'll see you next time. Enjoy the chaos. Enjoy whatever this video was. If you enjoyed it, Please leave a comment down below. I appreciate all of you. It was so nice meeting those of you that went to Stitch North, that came up to me. I so appreciate it. If you're coming to StitchCon Weekend Day, please do not hesitate to come up to me. I'm not a roamer too much, but I am so receptive and very much like, just come talk to me. I can't wait to meet y'all. And if I met you last year, please come up to me again and remind me of your name, because I feel like I met so many people last year and it was so fun. I can't wait to go back. That is that. We're going to keep it. We're going to say goodbye now. Okay? Bye, baby.